Hi, my name is Barb Cruikshank. Isn't that a terrible name? Cruikshank? My God. I have had the worst names spoken to me over the PA system in elevators. Is that Barb Cruikshank? Would she please come to the something desk? Etc., etc. And people say to me, is that Russian? Is that a Russian name? No. Is that a Hungarian name? No. Is that a Dutch name? No. It is a Scottish name. And I was married to a man who was a descendant of a Scot. So we had to go to Scotland, right, to see the family seat. And we went there, and it was wonderful. It was very nice, but that was really not the purpose of the trip. We wanted to go and look at castles in Scotland. So Scotland is 30,000 square miles, and it has 2,000 castles. So that means there's a castle every 15 miles. So there's no dearth of castles. You can find one anywhere. And we saw a lot. But my favorite one was a tiny, I would call it a bite-sized castle, a Norman castle. It was kind of a teddy bear of a castle. It was just the right size. It was like a baby bear castle. You just wanted to move right in. And it's called Creathus Castle or Crathus Castle if you decide to go to Scotland. And it's only 30 minutes away from Aberdeen. So it's easy to get to. And it's a Norman castle, so it's got those lovely turrets and the conical roofs. And it's got a huge garden with one of the oldest yew hedges in Britain. So yew was very important to the fighters. Anyway, we go into this place and the rooms are all people-sized. They aren't massive and impressive. They were people-sized and impressive. So the dining room had the most amazing ceiling, big wooden rafters and paintings of all the family between the rafters, still bright, still gorgeous. You could sit at the table, and they had, I don't know actually what they called it, if it was a runcible spoon, but it was sort of the utensil that you would use that was a combination of a fork and a spoon. So you could stab your food and get it in there. And you could also drink soup with it. So that was fun. Then off that major room was, and they told us that all the walls had originally been covered with tapestries to keep it warm. We were there in the summer, there were no tapestries. So we left that room and we went upstairs in this tiny spiral staircase. We got to this room and there was a giant bed in there, hugely carved and hangings and all the rest of it. And they had to bring every piece of wood up the stairs and build the bed in the room because it was so huge. Now the bed was huge, but it was short. It was like, the people who would sleep in that bed would be like 5 feet tall. You think, these were tough little nuts. They were out there fighting. So we're in this room looking at this 5-foot bed, and then we go downstairs, and on the wall is a fighting sword, 6 feet long, at least 6 feet long. You think, oh, how did they do that? I mean, how would they handle that? How would they handle that? Well, the answer came many years later when I heard the author Jack White, W-H-Y-T-E, speaking about those very people. He said they were very short, they were very tough, they had the most huge trapezius muscles from handling those swords, and you wouldn't want to mess with them. So I'm telling you this because I saw that castle 50 years ago, And it has remained in my heart ever since. And if you ever go to Scotland, go and see Crathes Castle. You'll have a great time. Oh, sorry.